Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Domino and I like making things from scratch and doing things myself. Today is a gloomy fall day and I could think of no better way than to have a Halloween crafts day. All of the crafts that I'm gonna do today, they're quick, cheap, and easy. So if you're interested to see how I ended up with all of these Halloween crafts, come along with me. Thanks so much for watching and I hope you enjoy. As you can tell, it's raining. We're going to Michael's to get some stuff. As it turns out, Michael's is not open yet. So let's make a fall drink instead. The first thing we need to do is make some pumpkin spice seasoning from scratch, of course. Pumpkin puree. You might have been thinking that this wasn't really from scratch because I didn't make the pumpkin puree, but I did. And of course we have to make some whipped cream. Just so you guys know, I'm only putting in this so that you get the full effect, you get to see it. But right after this, I'm gonna put it in a mug. The sacrifices I make for you guys, honestly. It may have spilled a little bit. Okay, as promised, I'm dumping it in now, but I did make extra whipped cream because I knew this was gonna get dumped out, so I'm gonna do this over the sink. Okay, let's try it. It's really good. Okay, now let's go. I got everything. This was only $3, $3.99, so I guess it was $4, really. And then I also got some glue sticks. I saw a pack that came with the glue gun and probably like 10 of these. Do the math, guys. Do the math. Don't let Michael scam you. I love you, Michaels. I'm just kidding. Anyway, sorry. Let's just go home. Our next craft involves pipe cleaners, a hot glue gun, and glue, of course, hair clips. Oh, I didn't know these were separate. The first thing I'm gonna do is plug in the hot glue gun. I've never used one of these before. Well, I have. I've never set one of them up before and had to figure out if it's ready or not. Okay. It says to stand it up when it's plugged in. Okay, I can do that. While that is heating up, I'm going to start on the pipe cleaner pumpkins. So we're gonna need 3 orange pipe cleaners and 1 green. The first thing we're gonna do is take our pipe cleaners and wrap them around our Sharpie or a similar sized object. And I'm going to do this 3 times. Okay, so now we have all of our orange twisty pipe cleaners. I'm going to take the green and just put it through all 3 of the orange pipe cleaners. These things look like a solenoid. I was trying not to think about physics. Guys, I have a midterm this week. I really have no business doing this right now, but oh well. Now that we have all of our orange coils on our green pipe cleaner, I'm just going to tie a little knot. And don't worry, we can fix any of the loose ends in a little bit. Bring both sides of the pipe cleaner to the top. Give them a little twist. Now, this part is optional. You can make a little leaf or a couple leaves. Just make a loop and twist it. Or you can just make the stem. I am going to make 2 leaves, 3 leaves. You can turn them up a little bit and then just twist the 2 ends of the green together to make the stem, and then just cut the ends off, and you have a little pipe cleaner pumpkin. Isn't that so cute? Now the last part of this is we're just going to hot glue it to a hair clip. That way we can put it in our hair. So we're going to open our clip so that it doesn't get glued closed, and take a little bit of hot glue, be careful not to burn yourself. Put it on the bottom of the pumpkin. Whoa, it works. Stick the clip on there. Try not to press it too much because we still want the clip to close. And then let that dry for a little bit. I think it's cute, but I would understand not wanting to wear this on an everyday basis because it's very noticeable, to say the least. But I think it's cute. Our next project involves yarn, any color you want, and some kind of twine or something. You could even use like cinnamon sticks for the stems. I think that would be cute too, and it would smell good. But I have this, what is this? Wrapped wire. I have wrapped wire. And a paper towel roll. Let me tell you guys, I don't know what my issue is. I hate the feeling of dry paper towels, especially when I have dry hands. And I hate the feeling, look, I'm getting anxious just talking about it. I hate the feeling of cardboard or cardboard like paper like this, and especially, oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. I hate the feeling of this rubbing, trying to get this out, rubbing against the paper towels. I hate paper towels in general. So just know how much I went through to get this out for you, because I didn't have any. Make sure you have a used paper towel roll so you don't have to go through what I went through. And I realize that's not normal, but still. Anyway, we're gonna get started. So I'm just going to cut this roll up into pieces that are a couple inches wide. You can make this really whatever size you want. This is just what I'm going for. And I am going to do 3 different colors just to demonstrate the variety that you can get, but you can do whatever colors you want. You can do 1, you can do multiple, you can just do whatever feels right for you. So in order to get more rounder edges, rather than having just such a harsh edge, I'm going to make a couple slits on both sides and just fold them over. See how now we have more of a rounded shape? That's what we're looking for. Okay, I'm just going to repeat this for the other 2 and then come right back. Also guys, keep in mind that when you cut them, you're going to end up making them shorter, so you might end up with a little stumpier of a pumpkin than you're expecting. But I am going to start with the orange, and I'm going to start with this big one. But before we start, to make things easier, this is the yarn I used to make this sweater. So anyway, what I'm gonna do to make this easier is just make a little ball of yarn so that we can pass it easily through. This would be a lot better if I didn't make a huge mess with my yarn. I have my little ball of yarn. First thing I'm going to do is hot glue it into the side we're just going to wrap this around. Make sure you don't make your ball of yarn too big. It is quite a while later, and I am almost done. If you run out of yarn, you can just tie a knot and just orient it so that the knot will fall on the inside. It's easier to wrap the yarn when you don't have a huge ball to have to push through the hole, so it's easier to just tie a knot. Now I'm just going to tuck that yarn under the strand in there and tie a knot. This part is a little bit tedious, especially with really long nails. Okay, I am just going to cut this a little bit shorter. And not to worry, because we are going to put a stem on here, so it's going to be covered. I'm going to make the base of the stem a little bit larger than the top so that it doesn't fall straight through. I'm just going to cut a piece of this. And about halfway through, I'm going to bend it in half. I'm trying to figure out what size stem you want. Wrap the rest of the wire all the way up, and I'm going to leave a little bit of wire left at the top so that I could bring it back to the bottom like that. That is looking pretty good, so I'm gonna cut. And now I'm just going to hot glue this in here. And let that dry. Next up on our to-do list is the paper bats. First thing I need to do is make a stencil. I'm gonna probably make 2 stencils because I want a smaller bat and a bigger bat. Now, I've never been the most savvy drawer, but I'm gonna try because all of these printable bat templates I'm seeing just look like if I click on them, I'm gonna get a virus. So I'm just gonna try and sketch some out and hope for the best. That looks pretty good. That is kind of the rough sketch. I'm just gonna fold it in half and then cut out whichever side I like better, and then that will be the stencil. I don't know what happened to our wing over here, but it doesn't matter because we only need half of it anyway, so. Here's the plan. I'm going to cut this out and then cut it in half and then trace the bat and then cut them out. Do the same for this one and then we'll see how many we have. To make them a little bit more 3D on the wall, I'm going to just fold the wings forward. So I put just like a roll of tape on the back of each bat. I'm gonna hang them up over here. I'm not gonna put them above the candle because I don't want them to catch on fire, obviously. So yeah, let's do that. So I have set up our workspace with everything that we need. I just put some dish towels down because I don't have a tablecloth. One day I'll have a tablecloth. Let's get started. To start, I'm going to cut out the eyes and the mouth from some felt. And I'm making 3, so I'm going to cut out 9 circles. They're not really circles, they're more like ovals, but you guys get the idea. I'll meet you guys back here when I have all 9. Here are our 9 little ovals. Now I'm going to try to make 3 equally sized balls. So now we have to measure the cheesecloth, and we're just going to drape it on top of these balls so it dries the way that we drape it. So first I'm gonna cut these out, test them out, make sure I like how they're looking. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out 2 pieces of cheesecloth for each, so 6 in total. Now, I'm just going to take a lot of Mod Podge and I'm going to dilute it with some water until it's about this consistency. I'm just squeezing some out so that it's not dripping. And now we just drape. Ooh, spooky, spooky. Okay, our ghosts are done. Now we just have to set them aside to dry. So the last time I checked on the ghosts, the inside layer was still a little bit wet, but the outside layer was dry. So I took them off of their little stands and let them dry a little bit. Now I'm going to try to take out the tinfoil ball because I want to hang them. I just really hope I don't break it. Just being really gentle. Okay, okay, good. Yay, okay, we successfully got all 3 of our ghosts out of their molds. Now I am going to try to thread these with this clear thread that I have. I am going to put it onto a yarn needle and try to thread it through the top of the ghost, make a little knot inside, and hang it from the ceiling. Very easy, very easy. So far so good. I'm scared this is going to somehow deform the ghosts. I'm going to be very gentle. Through. Oh, wow, that's actually shockingly easy, so good. Okay, I'm going to tie a couple knots in the end of this so it doesn't come straight through. That's amazing. I'm just going to leave this because I'm gonna measure how long I want it after I am done. I'm gonna do the rest of these and then I will meet you guys back here. Let's attempt to hang these up. Now I realize that these probably should be hung from hooks, but do I have said hooks? No. So for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to tape them to the ceiling until I get a better solution. Our next project of the day is going to be a crochet project, and the link to the pattern is in the description. I'm not gonna give exactly all of the details here because this isn't my pattern, so you should probably go check out the pattern. It is free, so go check out that pattern and you can do it along with me. But it is a pattern for pumpkin coasters. Let's just get started. It has been such a long time since I've crocheted anything. I've just been knitting so much lately. I actually know how to crochet a lot better than I know how to knit because I've been crocheting for like 10 or 15 years and I've only been knitting for like 2 or 3 years, so I really like this pattern so far. But I am gonna start with a magic loop instead of just a chain because I feel like it makes a smaller, less noticeable hole in the middle. So I'm gonna do that, and then I also decided I think I would like it more if it was doubled up because this yarn is a little bit thin. I love the pattern, it's really easy to read, it's a quick and easy and cute project, so yeah. I'm going to give you just a really quick crochet tutorial. So magic loop, this is always how I do it. do that again so you can see. I wrap it around my 4 fingers, twist it, take the working yarn, pull it through the middle, and then that's our loop. And then just there. So that's our first chain. Okay, so a chain stitch is you just take your yarn, wrap it over, pull it through the loop, and there's your chain. A double crochet, you'll wrap your yarn, go through the stitch that you're supposed to be crocheting into. This is the magic loop, so I'm doing a bunch of double crochets in here. Pull the yarn through the stitch, wrap it around again, pull through 2, wrap it around again, pull through 2. I'll show you again. Now that I've done all of the double crochets, the magic of magic loop, you just pull the loose end and it tightens. So now to join, we're going to go through our last slip stitch and make a new slip stitch. So usually to start around with double crochets, you're going to chain 2 or 3 depending on the pattern. Then take your yarn, wrap it around, insert it into the stitch that you're double crocheting into. Here I'm doing 2 stitches, so 2 stitches in each stitch from the previous round. So I'm going back in this loop. Grab your yarn, pull through, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, pull through 2. So now we're going into our next stitch. So wrap, we have done a chain. Now a slip stitch is you will go into the stitch you're supposed to be making the slip stitch into, wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through the stitch, but also pull it through the loop on your hook. One more time, slip stitch. A half double crochet is similar to a double crochet. Wrap your yarn around your hook, you put it into the stitch, wrap it around again, pull through, wrap it around again, and then pull through all 3. Again, half double crochet. I have just finished the pumpkin part. So I'm just going to do the stem and the leaf really quickly and then weave in the ends. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to make today is some jewelry. I found these little bats at Michael's today. I was thinking for a pair of earrings I could do each basically exactly this and then make this one a pendant on a necklace, which is going to be pretty simple, so let's get started. First of all, we need to pick out the beads for the necklace. You can really use whatever bead size and whatever bead colors that you want. Just use what you have. So I'm gonna do black and orange. Let's start with the earrings. The way I do it, and honestly I don't know if this is really the right way to do it or not. This is just the way I do it. I have a pair of pliers. Of course I need a needle, some thread, and then I have these little beads that you're meant to like squish. And so that's how I put the earrings on. I don't even know if that's really necessary, but that's the way I'm doing it today. We pick up our stopper bead, bring it down to the bottom, and then we take our needle and we go through the same way that we just went through. So basically you're gonna be making a loop around the bead. That way it's stuck in place. let's just cut this stupid thing. Let's start with these. So I'm just going to put the top beads that we want. And now our bat from head to tail. Okay, make sure that your earrings have the same amount of beads. That's important. Now our last bead, and I am now going to skip our last bead and just go straight through the bat again. Pull everything tight. Not too tight, you don't want to be too aggressive. And then back through all of these beads. And I'm going to put on this little clampy thing. So go through this one, put on our earring top thing, go back through the little clampy bead. We can take off the stopper bead now too. And at this point I like to just clamp it so that it stays in place while I am weaving the ends in. I like to also pull at the same time so it doesn't become too loose. I'm just going to tie these two ends together just to give it an extra bit of security. And now all we have to do is weave in the ends, which honestly, I don't know if there really is a correct way, but I just like to go down a couple beads. I like to try and split the string that's between the beads. Take my needle, go through that thread. I don't know if you can see that, split the thread in there like that. Make a knot, go back up and do the same thing again. And then go back down and then cut that string. And then just repeat that for the other string as well. And I'll meet you back here. Here are the earrings. Now, our last craft of the day is our necklace. I am going to make this very long. Step one, of course, thread the needle, stopper bead, just like last time. This time I'm gonna put it about halfway through the thread so that I can ensure that our bat is going to be in the middle. I have one extra of these little beads that the bat came with, so we're gonna use that here. What I'm going to do is go down through the bat, through head first, then take our bead, and the same way we did for the earrings, just go back through the bat and not the bead. I think we should start with just some black beads, so I'm gonna pick up, let's start with 10, see how that looks. I think I'm gonna do another 10. And one orange. And another 20. So I ended up doing 7 sets of 20, and then I did 10 at the end. And now putting on the clasp is the same pretty much as putting on the earrings. I like having it so that the clasp with the hook is on the right side, so I can use my right hand. So we are going to put the loop on this side. I am going to weave in the ends and then do the other side, and I will show you the finished results. And that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you were inspired to make some Halloween crafts.